Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brenda.
Good afternoon, Orthea. And
Hello,
welcome,
all y'all out there.
welcome to Wellness for Women. Mind, body, spirit, and financial wellness. We are so excited to bring this
Very
special
excited.
to you.
Yes.
And we'd like to thank R.J. Watkins and
Thank
Mr.
you, and
Henry
Henry
Tyler
Tyler.
and all the staff here at WHPR. We can have a great show.
Awesome. Don't go away. Don't touch the dial, as they can say. And make sure you give us a call here, 313-868-4336. You're going to want to know that number. And the numbers also are at the bottom of the screen. Am I right?
Well, yeah, from time to time. From time to time. We don't have to have them running the whole
Okay,
time because the
good,
people
good.
who watch TV 33 know
the numbers?
number.
All right.
But, we'll put them up and we'll keep on repeating them. Also, you could watch us on your app, on your app.
On your cell phone.
Right. On your smartphone, your TV 33 app. We'll be right there. And we are coming back. We have a fitness expert, we have our financial experts, and we have a medical expert and a spirit expert. for you.
Amen.
Yes.
I just keep getting chills for this. This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm so excited to be with you.
Oh, I
It's an
am.
honor.
It's about time. We've been talking about this for so long.
Yes, yes.
And we'll be right back in just a moment with Nasette Gray, our fitness expert for today. We are back.
I'm excited about this part. I know some people aren't excited about exercising,
Well-
but I want to know.
You want to know? I want to know. And we have Nasette Gray. You could tell those arms. I'm going to hide my arms.
Hello.
And
Somebody been pumping, right?
Nasette is a fitness expert. In fact, I've been working with her. Of course, I look nothing like her. Oh,
But you're looking good.
You are.
Thank you.
So you're doing a great job with her.
Yeah, we
Thank
got
you.
the
Thank you.
memo.
Yeah,
And Nasette, how long have you been doing fitness?
I've been in the fitness industry for about 15 years or so.
And you're only
I've
16 years old.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And I've really enjoyed it. I have done all the way from training to competing in competing here in Michigan as well as in Wisconsin and some other states such as New York. And I've been able to take some nice first places in bodybuilding and figure. Very excited about that, but even more excited about empowering other women with the ability to do well on their fitness journey. So I'm excited about that too.
Now, originally, you're from where?
Originally, I am from Michigan, actually born in Highland Park, but I
Oh,
spent
wow,
8
okay.
years. I spent 8 years in Puerto Rico, and I went to high school there. So I learned quite a bit as far
You
as
wanna
track
spend
and fitness
anytime,
there.
anywhere. That's a good word.
Yes.
Place to do it. I love Puerto
I know
Rico.
you miss it on days like this.
I do.
I know, because it's a little chill.
I wanted to ask you, since we're on into the holiday season,
Yes.
what is it something that we can do or should do or know to do within this season that we're coming up with, Thanksgiving and Christmas?
So that's a great question. In the holidays, one thing that we really need to do is to really plan our meals and plan how we're going to celebrate with other people. In the holiday season, you're not quite as in control of everything
Right,
you're going
especially
to be
when all the
eating.
parties.
Right, going to all the parties, all the different foods they have. You still want to try and concentrate on eating as clean as possible. There are vegetables there. I know that that's
When you
probably
say
not the
clean,
primary.
what do you mean?
Clean is trying to eat food in its whole state and as originally as it was born. So the food, such as a carrot, you want to eat that carrot as a raw carrot if possible, instead of eating it with a lot of sauces on it or any other flavorings, which those add calories. Those are the hidden calories.
So, I love dressing. I'm just gonna. I don't call it stuffing. I
Now,
call it
you
dressing.
talking about real dress, like cornbread
It's
dressing.
cornbread. That's the only
Okay.
way. Can I have at least a little bit in the palm of my hand?
You can. You actually, during the holidays, one thing that I really talk to people about is, again, planning your week. So you know you're going to probably be at a certain person's house or a party, some sort of entertainment that might go on that week. So what you really want to do is think about that and think about how you're eating during the week before you get to that point. So
Okay.
you can treat yourself
And
to a
also
small
knowing
portion
control.
of dressing. Yes.
Control.
Yes, and even though I am saying let's let's treat ourselves, let's not probably overindulge.
Right. Anything in moderation.
That's
Correct.
it.
Anything in moderation. We
Correct.
can't go overboard.
Right.
Correct.
And we know how it is to get
A
overboard.
lot of times, though, when I get a little bit of taste of some good dressing, then I want some more. And then I want some more.
Then you go to bed at night and you're laying in that bed and you're thinking about that dressing.
Well,
that's
I've come
down
to that
in the-
age where I cannot lay down on heavy food at night
Right,
anymore.
right.
It's like it's all up in my neck or in my chest.
So something you might want to think about when you feel like you're ready to overindulge is you want to try to think about having a glass of water with you. And so you're drinking water, having your treat, drinking water. It'll probably help you stay away from having to have a portion that's too large or something.
And what
that
about
you will really-
wine, having a drink, the drinks? 'Cause they put on calories, I know.
They do. They do put on calories, and you definitely want to try to, again, judge well with portion control and try to really be succinct about how much you're drinking, be aware of how much you're eating. And again, if you feel like you're going to overindulge or it's going to be a long evening, you may want to think about just having a cup of water, a bottle of water with you that just kind of runs around with you the whole time. And that'll help you stave off some of that, sort of tantalizing.
That's a good tip.
Yes.
And we can't forget to exercise over the holidays. We still should exercise.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You should still exercise, still take time to exercise. We have 24 hours in a day. So taking 30 minutes out of that 24 hours is really kind
30
of a
minutes
small,
is always good, huh?
30 minutes is always good. If
You don't
can
have to do an hour or two.
any additional time that you put into exercising is always great. There's never, so that's always great. But the real thing is to always do something consistently.
Well, Nasette,
I love this poem that she read to me earlier.
well, we're baby boomers.
Yeah,
Dorothea
and
and
now
I.
we're into that part where we talk about, girl, I'm making out our resolutions. I'm going to take off this weight.
Yeah.
I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do
Well,
this. I'm going to do that. What
in
you
my
say?
new book, I wrote something like about exercising and being a baby boomer.
Okay.
I guess you're right about that, sister. Yeah, I'm gonna get in shape just as soon as it gets warmer. Oh, how'd you say you lost that weight again?
Mm-hmm.
You ate what?
Right.
You didn't eat what? That's not too bad. You walked how far? I don't know about that, sister. Huh. Now, don't shake your head. Don't doubt me because I really want to get in shape. Really, I do. With me getting younger. Can't you tell by my new car? I need a new body to go with my new image, but the
Right.
idea of exercise wears me out, makes me sneeze. Please, sister, please, give me another way out of this era of midriff bulge and sagging hips and breasts.
Yes.
Can I buy my way out of this baby boomer mess? Well, if diet and exercise is my only escape, I'll try. But to tell you the truth, I don't know about that, sister.
I know, and that fits a lot of us. That
lot
fits
of
a
us.
lot of us.
Yes.
Or if it doesn't fit you now, you've been there, done that.
Yes, and that's when I done that. Now I'm going to do something else. Now, Nasette, you're going to show us a few things,
Yes.
a few exercises over there. So we're going to go to a break, and I'll come over there with you, and we'll see what you're going to show our audience. These are things. Tell them where they could do these.
The type of exercises I'm going to show you, you can actually do them at home. Doesn't take any equipment or
Okay.
very little equipment. So you can do it right in your living room. You don't have to have any special spacing or anything like that. So it'd be really exciting. In fact, I hope that you will all stand up and join me so you can kind of get the idea of these exercises and maybe even write them down or, tape this show so that you're able to actually play back the exercises and try them out at home. Michigan is really funny with the weather, and so whether you have a gym membership or not, it's great to be nice and warm in your house and being able to still stay in shape.
And you're comfortable still. But Nasette, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
You can check me out at my website, all4fitness.com.
All for fitness. That's the number
The number 4, fitness.com, or you can call at 248-890-0018.
Say that number again.
Again, that's 248-890-0018. Love to hear from you.
I'm excited about these exercises. Are you doing any exercise in a chair for senior citizens?
Yes, I'm doing exercises that will be for everybody,
senior girl.
every fitness level, every age level.
Me too.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment. So
Don't go
hold
away.
on. Don't leave that chair. Oh, Henry Tyler says I'm hot, so I must be hot. Now we have Nisette Gray, our fitness expert here, and she's going to show us some exercises. I'm not going to do them with her because I don't want to show her up. So therefore, I'm going to have, yeah, I know. Okay, Nisette, what are you going to show us first?
Okay, the first thing we're going to work on is abs. I know everybody's really interested in that aspect of working out.
You mean Michelle Obama arms? Oh, abs. Oh, stomach too.
And stomach. Okay, so we're going to work on our stomach first. So the first thing we're going to do, 2 stomach exercises we can do. The first one is a standing one, and the next one will be a sitting one. Okay, so the first standing exercise, what we'll do is we're going to just have our hands on our hips, okay? And again, you can do all of these exercises in a low impact or a high impact way. So as much as you can do, or as much as you can do, or if you can do more, then please proceed. So let me just show you. And again, don't worry about how high your leg's lifting or anything like that. We all start from some point. So we're going to start with our hands up in the air. And one thing you want to do before you even start any exercise, is to actually warm up. And let me show you a little bit about warming up. Real easy. You don't have to have a fancy elliptical, treadmill, or anything like that. You can just simply just move your legs. So you can just tap your hands to your knees, and you can do this to a song. You can do this while a commercial is going if you don't have a timer or something like that. And so by the time that commercial is over, you should have your heart rate pretty much at a nice pump, and you'll be warmed up and you'll be ready for your exercise. And it's best to warm up because you don't want to injure yourself while exercising. So at this point, we're going to move on to doing our first exercise, and again, that's going to be for abs. And what we're going to do is raise our hands way up in the air here, and then what we're going to do is bring our legs forward, up, and back down without touching the floor, up, and back down without touching the floor, up, and back down without touching the floor. And the other leg also, up, and back down without touching the floor, up, and back down without touching the floor, up, and back down without touching the floor. So I hope everybody was able to try that out. You want to do 10 repetitions on each leg, and you want to try to do it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, that sounds good. That's not too bad. Now, what if you can't lift your leg quite as high?
So even if you can't lift your leg quite as high, it's still effective to lift your leg at all. And the way that you're going to start is you're going to try to get your center of gravity. Your center of gravity you would get by just taking your toe and putting it right on the floor and then just lifting it ever so slightly. Then you're going to your body will start to try to still stand up straight. And that'll engage your abs. And then you can begin to move your leg. So then you would move your leg. And you can just move it very slightly. And then eventually you'll get to a little bit higher level. So I have something for those of you who need to sit in a chair. So here we go. Our exercise for sitting in a chair, what you want to do is, and especially if you don't have a sturdy chair, you don't have someone around actually watching you, you want to make sure your chair is against something that's very sturdy, such as a wall. Okay? So you're going to take your hands and bring your hands underneath your thighs. When bringing your hands underneath your thighs, you're going to really grasp onto the seat of the chair. And then you're going to start by just taking up one leg at a time and bringing it down, one leg at a time and bringing it down. If that is very simple for you, then you want to try bringing up both of your legs at one time and then bringing them down. Both of your legs up at one time and bringing them down. Okay?
How many times should we do that?
You want to try and do that. Start working with about 5 times, then go to 10, then go to 15. And just whatever your number is, try and make your number 5% higher, a little bit higher each and every time that you're doing that. Again, bring your legs up and bring them down. Bring them up and bring them down. And again, please make sure that you have your chair against something that won't let it slip and slide. So against the wall or against another chair, against the table, something like that.
So that's good for what?
That's good for your abs. That's good for your abs. You'll feel it in your quadriceps, which is the front of your legs also, because if you haven't done this before, it is really demanding your legs to actually work very hard. And as we know, about 60% of our weight is from the waist down, so any movement from the waist down is always going to burn a lot more calories.
Great.
Okay?
Wonderful. Thank you.
So we're going to do, right now we're going to work on our arms real quick too. What you want to do is, even if you don't have dumbbells, these are dumbbells. If you don't have any dumbbells at home, what you can do is use any form of like a can or something that has a little bit of weight to it. You can use anything like that. And what you want to do with bicep curls, which I see a lot of people with bicep curls, they try to hug their arms to their body. What you want to do is separate it from your body a little bit, because you want the biceps to work. You don't necessarily want, you know, the biceps to be aided by your body. So you're going to take the the dumbbells from a position of vertical to a position of horizontal, and then you're going to bring them back down to vertical and back to horizontal. And if you notice, I'm framing my face and I'm bringing the dumbbells up to shoulder level. So that's what you want to do each and every time. And that way, you're working your biceps. And again, the same thing that I've said before is you want to use do as many reps as you can, and then your goal is to do 10%, 5% more in the future.
Well, that really helped me. It really helped me. Now show us one more, and we have to break.
So our next exercise we're going to do, what we're going to do is actually do one for legs, okay? So there's a couple things you can do here. The leg exercise I'm going to show you now is kind of a leg and a balance exercise. And what you're going to do, again, find your center of gravity, and you're going to bring your leg up, and you're going to bring the ball here through the leg. And that's all you're going to do.
Wow, Nisette. Everybody, remember what Nisette said, because you see this body on her. So she didn't get that by dreaming it. She worked at it. So we have to work at it, and we have to keep our health, and it keeps our blood sugar down, everything, doesn't it?
Right. It keeps your insulin levels down. It keeps you from being the top candidates for osteoporosis and for diabetes.
What I love about it as well is that you learn to get your balance.
You do.
You know, a lot of
do.
times when you get a certain age, your balance gets a little off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And doing
So
it
that's
that
the
way,
point.
you can practice, and when you start walking somewhere, you have to worry about
Absolutely.
balancing.
Yep. A lot of self-confidence with exercise, too.
Well, Nisette,
Thank you.
Soror, thank you. Thank you so much for giving us those tips. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a minute with Gail Perry Mason and Kathleen Cullen.
And we are back, and we're talking about wellness for women today. Now, wellness comes in all kind of packages, from the body, which you just seen earlier, as well as financial. We want to make sure we got our money together. Now, I'm excited to have with me a young lady that's been a friend for a long time and one of the financial experts of the world, somebody. Gail Perry Mason, and her partner is with her today, Kathleen Cullen.
Yes.
Did I say that name right? Kathleen Cullen.
Yes, you did. You
Okay.
did.
And I'm so excited that you guys are here. Now, we talked about with Nisette about the holidays, and we are into the holidays, and I want to know, is there something special we need to do that will help us financially?
Well, you know what? Just what Chrisette said when she was here, talking about, more, I guess it's more about discipline. And really being disciplined with your body. You have to be disciplined with your budget, too.
Oh, okay.
So we need a lean body and we need a lean budget. So that's what we need to do. It goes hand in hand. So I just think when it comes to the holidays, when she said don't eat too much, everything in moderation, it's the same thing with spending.
Leave those plastics at home.
Leave those. We need plastic surgery. We need to cut those cards up.
Cut them up.
And we need to cut them up or freeze them or do something. We need plastic
She didn't
surgery.
say leave them at home.
Yeah, I didn't even say leave them at home. We need to cut them up. We do not need to use any store cards, and I'm sure, Kathleen will also agree with me, but I also think we need to buy gift cards for people. We need to
Okay.
make baskets. We need to give our services if you know how to do, like Chrisette, for example. She does, maybe she could, do, personal training for someone
Or we
for
could
an
get her,
hour.
I could get her to go to somebody as a gift.
As a gift. We can get her as a
Okay.
gift. This is what we need to do. We need to keep our dollar in the community, number one. And if we need to buy a gift card, we need to go to giftcards.com or plasticjungle.com.
Now, what's the
and buy 'em
difference
for
in
a
going to
discount.
giftcards.com rather than going to the store and getting the gift
You
card?
get a discount on them.
Oh, wow.
You
Did
get a
not
discount
know that.
on them. That's what we need to do. So
Save $1 here and $1 there. But listen, the number one, while you're buying your gifts and you're out and you're festive about it all, make sure that you put you at the top of your gift as well. Don't forget during this time of gift giving to keep saving.
That's a good
And also,
thought.
if you kind of
Many times we don't think about that.
No, we
just
don't.
buy for everybody.
still be involved with your 401ks if you're working. It's coming towards the end of the year, towards tax time. Make your plans for your IRAs. Still put you at the top of the list because at the end it'll benefit you the most. So
One
make
thing
some
that's
some of your gifts
challenging
yourself.
in the hour of shopping for Christmas and holidays with a lot of people is not having the funding to do what they need to do. So it actually goes back to what you were saying in terms of giving of yourself, making up your own baskets, something that you can do that somebody would love. I'd love for somebody to bring me on for my birthday when you guys came for the party. Someone gave me a big basket full of towels, all kind of toiletries were in there, and all
That's
she
a
did was went to the
great
dollar
gift.
store.
But that's a great gift. Also, a gift of a letter and get it framed.
Oh,
Those are the
wow.
best gifts
Okay.
in the entire world is when people give you a letter. When people give from the heart, it's better than giving from the purse or the wallet.
Okay.
So I think those are the best gift. All the heartfelt gifts are priceless, but they're cheaper on our pocketbook. So I
Okay.
think, and if you need to buy stuff, it's a great website called eBates, EBATES.com, which will give you money back. So register for that. So register for different sites too. And
Okay.
start and write everything down. You need a plan. Just like you write down all your calories when it comes to eating, write down all your spending. Write it down and have a list. You'd be just like Santa Claus. Have a list when you go shopping.
And as we say, as you're talking about having a plan, with the new year coming in, we always want to have a plan. So we know that's what you do as a business. How do we get in touch with you?
Well, yes. Matter of fact, we're planning on putting a seminar. We're both with Oppenheimer now. Kathleen Cullen just came in from New York.
Yes.
And
Okay.
she's been
Came
with
back home,
Yeah,
so-
came back home.
That's good.
So she came back home, and now, so now it's the only firm that has 2 African American females.
Oh, my.
Basically, in the state of Michigan and
Okay.
in basically in the
Might
country.
be in the country, yeah.
And probably in the country. So now that we're working together, we want to help Detroit save money and
So
help
you're going
other
to do a
people
seminar
save.
when?
December 10th.
December 10th. Yes, we're definitely
Right
gonna
around
be-
the corner.
Yeah, probably, and make sure that it benefits Detroit. We're going to be theming around pure Detroit, all that is good about Detroit.
oh, good.
But more than anything, giving back to our, to our community.
Community.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And if they
So
want to
no-
register
Right,
for
I
the
was gonna
seminar
say.
or get any information, they can do it through speakingofgpm@gmail.com, directly to Erica, and that way they can register for our seminar.
Okay, and then for a number to call if they want to
Oh,
contact
yes,
you.
definitely. 313-886-1200. That's our office over in Grosse Pointe.
313-886-1200.
Yes. Local.
Well, I just don't want to miss anything because I know you guys have so much wealth to give.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you'd like to say that you haven't said?
Well, as I said, I mean, again, never not pay yourself first because I mean,
Okay.
at the end of it, you're gonna want to have some money put away for your retirement.
You know what I learned to do because I have, I got 8 grandchildren.
Whoa.
Yes.
So what I've learned to do with them is that I take them for Christmas to feed the hungry, to give things to the poor, gifts to the poor. And then I get their Christmas gifts in January.
Smart.
That is a
'Cause it's,
blessing.
You know, not only is
Plus
it
you catch the
teaching
sales.
them, but also it's helping me in terms of not had to pay all that money.
Exactly.
You know, and you're born to serve. And one thing I have to say, I learned this from Kathleen Colon. One thing we need to do is save our receipts.
Okay.
When we buy at Christmas time, save your receipts. When it goes on sale, you take that, especially Macy's, all those stores, they will reimburse you
Get
the
out
difference.
of here.
within 10
Yes,
days.
within
Yeah.
10 days.
If a difference.
So if you buy something on Christmas Eve, the day before, whatever, save all those receipts. They have sales on all the time. Save receipts. Another thing I wanted to say, too, was everybody needs to not shop on Fifth Avenue, but to have 5 avenues of income. Because we get so stressed out over Christmas. But guess what? Christmas, the date has never changed.
Okay.
And I know we get stressed out over that day. But the thing is that we need to do is have 5 avenues of income. If you want to go to the movies, get somebody, go on Groupon and buy them a discounted coupon. Groupon is a great way to shop. Also, Living Social.
Are you saying GROUP?
Yes, Groupon. Another great thing, if you want to go to movies, go for free. You can go to GoFobo, GOFOBO.com. People can actually go to the movies for free
Wow.
on GoFobo. And if you want to take somebody out to eat, you could buy a $5 gift certificate, which covers $50 worth of food if you go to restaurants.com. So just
Okay.
go to restaurants.com, buy somebody, you know, they can go to the nicest restaurants.
You can .com your way all into all kinds
Yeah,
of
you
savings.
can.
Trust
So
and
I
know.
love
You,
it.
you know, just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
save
.com is the bomb. I know. .com
I
is the
love
bomb.
it, I love
but
it, I love it.
think we need to start thinking about different things to do. And another thing I always say too, you know, all year long, maybe just to save early and save in a change jar.
And when you're out somewhere, you see sales.
Oh yeah, just buy
Definitely.
it then.
Buy then.
Right,
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
And one other thing I really love that you do, and I imagine you guys will continue to do since you're partnering now, is how you start with young people young
Yes.
and knowing
Oh,
how
yeah.
to budget.
Oh,
what they need to
absolutely.
do.
Definitely.
And,
And
that
also,
applies to Christmas time too.
all year
Because you know
round.
some parents give them what $10 or so much amount of money to go and do their own shopping.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Remember they used to have the Christmas stores. Remember back in the day? They
Yeah.
had stores just for us to go
Oh,
shopping.
I remember Hudson's.
Yeah, Hudson's had it.
You are
Remember, I
not
was
that
so
old to remember
excited.
that, girl.
I no, well, okay, maybe I'm dating myself, but that was so much fun. I was a little kid
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
shopping though. I was, oh my god, I love that. That was so cool.
That was a fun
and I
thing
think
to
we
do.
need to do that with our children.
Yes.
is teach them, you know, how to budget that money too. Start doing it now. So
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to plug the dollar store, but it is so many things at the dollar store that you can get and the kids can get that are wonderful gifts. Because it's really coming from the heart, not necessarily about how many dollars that you spend, right?
absolutely,
No, it's-
that's what it's all about.
It's all about the thought. All about
That's
the thought.
it.
Definitely.
That's it. So we're glad that you're back here and glad
Well,
you're
thank
with,
you. I'm
you're
glad to
with
be
a
back.
great partner, that's for sure.
Well, Gail and I, we've known each other for years. We were at
But
Prudential
working
Securities.
together, had you worked together before?
Yeah, that's how we met.
Oh, okay.
That's how we met,
years ago
yes.
at Prudential
All right,
Securities.
so now I just see some great things for you guys in terms
Definitely.
of workshops, in terms of books.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Gail Perry Mason has books out, and she's done one with another partner before.
Yes, Glenda Bridgeforth. My
Bridgeforth.
sister, I love her to death. She brought me in, and that's been a blessing, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I appreciate you ladies stopping by.
We appreciate
to
you,
be a part of the
Marthea.
Wellness for Women in Finance. That's awesome, and I know that we'll see you again because you got to come back.
Definitely, we will. But definitely,
Okay.
you and
Anytime-
Brenda, that's a great partnership too.
Isn't
you
that
guys
wonderful?
here today, that's a blessing right there.
Yes, it is.
Very
That's
powerful.
real
Yes, it is.
wisdom, powerful, and definitely wealthy.
Thank you.
So thank you.
We love you guys. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey,
Good.
we are back, Brenda.
Yes, that was
Moving
a great.
right along. That was really good. You
Great
know,
segment.
But they have so much to give. It's like you could go on and on and on. You need time.
And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to put this show up online too, so you'll be able to watch it over and over and over.
Yes, yes.
And
As well as we'll be able to bring some of our guests back on our show, on her show, and on my show.
And Orthea,
And
your
you have a
show
longer time.
is,
I'm on every Monday from 1 to 2.
and I'm
and you're on.
Fridays from 9 to 10 in the morning, and then I have Table Talk at 1 p.m. on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we definitely are going to have everybody back for a little longer segments and everything,
Right.
but it is our major pleasure to introduce our next guest,
Yes.
Dr. Margaret Betts.
Used to
Good
be my
af-
doctor back in the day.
back in the day,
Yes.
back in the show enough day. Good morning.
Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning.
Oh, wonderful.
Great,
Oh,
great.
well, it's
Thank you for
afternoon
being
now.
here.
Well, good afternoon as
Yes.
well.
I let it wrong. Okay.
Thank you for being with us today.
It is my pleasure. It's truly is.
Preventive medicine. We've heard that word everywhere. What does that really mean?
Well, we're all going to die.
Oh, yeah.
But we could die like Methuselah. Maybe not as old as he. But we can die.
Well, we now got people
natural
living to
causes.
100. And,
Well, my oldest patient was, if she'd lived 2 more months, she would have been 115.
woo!
So we would die of natural causes,
Okay.
not of complications of disease.
Okay.
And preventive care has to deal with knowing who you are, not only how you look outside, but your inside should look as good as your outside. And in order to do that, in order to know that, you got to know some numbers. You got to either, you got to bring yourself to a physician or a healthcare professional of your choice. And there are lots of different types now. Naturopaths and Chinese herbalists,
Right.
internists, private primary care physicians, etc.
It's wonderful to hear because at one time, a medical doctor would not say to you, go to a Chinese herbalist or go to, they wouldn't
Yes.
say that. They would say,
Right.
look,
Well, I happen
come
to be
on,
a
let me
Chinese
fill you up with
herbalist.
some pills.
Yeah, I happen to be a holistic practitioner and
Okay.
a Chinese herbalist.
Well, first and foremost, let's talk about our families, and let's talk about the importance of knowing our family's health history.
Well, that's really important, and I'm glad that you asked that question because most of us don't know our family history because
True.
our parents really didn't talk to us about the important things. My mother used to always say she's going to see a man about a dog, and I'm
Really?
sure,
I love it.
I'm sure the
Yeah, they used to have
listening
those
audience.
expressions.
Yeah, and we would say, "Bring me a black one," or "Bring me a brown one." But the family history is important, not necessarily for heredity, but for tendencies and increased incidence. We now know that only 5% of all of the diseases known to man are hereditary, and all the others are acquired or associated with increased tendencies.
Okay.
Because you learn by behavior. If your mother cooked with a lot of grease and butter and sugar,
You think that's what you're supposed to do?
right. If your mother had diabetes as a result of cooking like that, then if you grow up and cook like that, you will have the
Have the
same
same thing.
Same things, yes. So family history is really important, and especially for some of those diseases that we know are hereditary.
Well, a quick question. This popped in my mind when you just said that was Angelina Jolie.
That's what I'm
She
getting.
had a double mastectomy because her mother had breast cancer and her mother had it. Do you think there was 100% chance that she would get it?
Yes, because she did the test called a BRAC and showed she had the same genes as her mother. So she had a tendency, and that's an inherited situation.
Okay.
Also, ovarian cancer. More than likely, most mothers who have ovarian cancer will pass it on to their female children. So there are a few of them that we know.
Now,
that
you
are
know, me
hereditary.
being the minister that I am, I do a sermon say that ain't got nothing to do with me. Because my mama had it, because you had it. Don't mean I got to have it.
In certain situations, it does have something to do with you.
Okay.
And it's important that we know.
But I'm saying if you are aware, because that's what's the first question, if you are aware of what the background is and the family background is, then you know what to do.
Absolutely.
As Maya Angelou said, you can't do better till you know better.
that you know better.
And well, you talked about ovarian cancer and breast cancer.
Breast cancer, yes. There are quite a few others. My son is a chaplain. He's at Harvard's Divinity School, and he sent me a email and says, I want to be as good of a chaplain to my cancer patients as this chaplain was to hers. And there was a YouTube, and I'm sure it has so many hits, this doctor in the operating room with all of the assistants and the physicians dancing before she has her double mastectomy. You should go, I don't know what the
I
name
just
of it is.
saw that. It was just on. I saw that.
She's
dancing.
she was dancing with and had someone. Well, I guess it was
Now,
arranged.
who was dancing? The patient?
The
the
patient
or-
was
patient
dancing.
was.
Okay.
I'll try and send
the
you that
patient
link.
was dancing, and she asked all of her friends who saw it danced,
Dance.
and they scanned the country, and a hospital was dancing in the halls. Her friends were dancing in Atlanta, and that's what it's all about: taking control of
Great synergy.
great synergy and great energy as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we really have to not fear what's inevitable or what's around the corner. We have to, take it head on. Because I always tell my patients, we can't promise that you won't get cancer, but we can promise that you don't have to die from it if you catch it early enough.
Wow.
So how do you catch it early enough? You bring your body to the doctor.
Get testing.
Yes, yes.
And that is a challenge with a lot of women.
Everybody's afraid.
They're afraid to go. They don't, they want to know, but they don't want to know.
Yes, but
Yeah.
they need to know.
So coming up on this new year, we need to be knowing a whole lot of things and getting ourselves checked out. I mean, that's a part of our cleansing, a part of our building our body. It's not just exercising, it's making sure that I go do all the tests that I need to take.
Yes.
And we have to know what's not good for us. Some of us, sometimes if we eat certain things, we get sick. But we like those things. And some people just go on and eat them and say, I'll just
Anyway.
deal with it.
Yeah,
and that's not a good thing.
It really isn't. Disease is chronic. You're not diagnosed with diabetes. You don't have diabetes the first day you're diagnosed with it. You've had diabetes probably for the last 10 or 15 years.
Right.
But it's just been mounting. And when it
Okay.
gets to the point that it spills over into your life, then you have a diagnosis. If you eat something that makes you sick, what are the organs doing? In order to be healthy, the organs have to...
My organs spiritually, and I see them applauding that I'm still here, I'm doing
It's
wonderful,
important.
I'm perfect. And I had never thought about that until you just mentioned that I do that automatically.
Absolutely.
Going through the challenges that I've been going through.
Good for you.
Because,
Good for you.
Dr. Betts, as good as food can be for you, it can be bad for you too sometimes. And a lot of people, and then some people, they constantly miss meals. They do things to harm themselves, little things that we can do to make it better. Isn't that true?
That's true. The chemists have been working feverishly to develop foods or chemicals that attract your taste buds and make you addicted to them.
Oh,
They're
Lay's
only-
potato chips. Lay's potato chips. Lay's potato chips.
She's confessing.
yeah, I understand her confession too.
Oh, Lay's.
And what I thought was even better, and it's not better, is no salt chips. And it's not any better than eating, I might as well eat the Lay's.
Because you're eating that horrible grease that sticks to the outside of your blood vessels.
Yes, and
if
I-
you do that 10, 20, 30 years, you will ask yourself, how did I get high blood pressure? Or how did I get diabetes? That's how. And you don't remember what you did when you were 20 and 30 and 40. Then you get to be 50 plus, and you wonder, well, where did I get this from? But you
Or
have to
even
understand.
starting at a young age, because a lot of kids are obese now. I had a young man, someone tell me about a young man that has breast. And young kids don't have breasts. Young men, they don't have breasts. But now because of all the fast foods they eat, because of certain diet, they end up with breasts.
It's also the hormones in the diet.
Okay, in the food.
They give hormones to pump up the size of the meat that they're going to sell.
Right.
It weighs more. It's bigger. They make more money. This is a capitalistic
I've
society.
heard people say, "Oh, they have the biggest chicken wings at that store."
Right.
But that looks like a deformed chicken. I mean, no, seriously. I've seen wings that are huge, and there's something not right about
But they
that.
may not be chicken wings. And I always tell anybody that'll listen,
True.
don't
may
get the
not be.
biggest watermelon or the biggest apple or the biggest chicken wing, because you may not be getting the foods that
What
are
you
good
think
for
it
you.
is.
And now with meat, they can clone meats are in our grocers freezers.
Especially when they do that. What's
And
that?
they don't have to
that
tell you.
riblets now they do. The
I'm a
riblets.
vegan, so I don't.
But I'm
I
just
just
saying.
go right past that.
I'm just saying. It's some riblets that are artificial. They're not really ribs. They're not really pork.
and that's
But
good to
people
know.
are buying them.
It's time for us. Our meat, the meat that our parents fixed us, is not the meat that we're eating today.
True.
The milk that they fed us is not the milk that we drink today. And milk is one of the leading causes of cardiovascular disease in
Isn't
the
that something
world.
we're thinking that we're drinking milk to make our bones stronger?
I
and it's
haven't
not.
drank milk since I was 5 years old. I can't tolerate it, and I
Are
can't
you
even take.
lactose or you just can't
I just
tolerate
can't the smell of it or anything.
But cow's milk is for cows.
Mm-hmm.
A mammal, every mammal will make the milk for its own offspring.
it? Okay.
We have made
Like we make milk for our babies.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything that's fortified, they have to add it in. So they fortify the milk with calcium. You can get more calcium from orange juice than you get from milk. But all the grease, all the fat, you got to understand what's in milk. And let me tell all the listening audience, because go to notmilk.com. The federal government allows 10 pus to be in milk, and there's a whole process of that.
Allows what?
Pus.
Yeah, pus.
Pus.
And
Yes.
if you eat cheese is 10 times more concentrated
more.
than milk. So you got 10 times more pus. You need to know what you're eating.
And the only reason I know
You
this
really
is
do.
because I have my doctor is a holistic doctor.
Good,
She
good.
keeps me on point as to what is in this and what is in that, and not to do this and not to do
Right.
that.
Right.
You know. So,
So once you know, I mean, you can't, we pray over the food, but work with, Reverend, help me out, work without faith. Faith without work
well,
is no
I
avail.
told someone today, prayers have to have legs on them.
And you just can't buy
Sit back and say, I'm
I'm
gonna
pray on this and God's
do
going to
this,
help
He's
me.
going to do that.
And
No.
then get this the plate full of ribs, plate full of this,
And
then-
dressing.
and dress.
And dress.
Come on, just a little bit.
Hey, just a little bit of dressing. Don't put me out without any dressing.
You know, I wait all year to cook it. You know, and my grandchildren are coming for the holiday, and my son loves my dressing.
Give most of it to him. And you leave yourself with about this much.
Oh, okay.
And then take one spoon and just sit down and just a little bit off of that spoon. Let
And
it
I'll-
roll around your mouth.
And I'll do what Nisette said, drink that water,
Absolutely.
because I love water.
And I'll add to Nisette, and she was absolutely right. Most time when we think we're hungry, we're really thirsty. So if we drink 8 ounces of water, and I
Okay.
always tell if anybody that'll listen, if you want to lose weight, drink 8 ounces of water and an apple right before you eat. And the apple has a lot of fiber, decreases your appetite, and if you were thirsty, the 8 ounces of water is going to quench your thirst,
Quench the
and will
thirst.
add to the amount of water that you should have every day, which is half your weight in ounces of water.
I try to drink 32 ounces at least, maybe.
So you weigh 64 pounds.
So it's according to your weight.
It's
So in other words, if you weigh 100, you do
50 ounces.
50 ounces. So
Wait, that's a lot of water. I'll drown.
Now. So
I'm
then you
just
got to
joking.
shrink your body so you won't drown. Don't drink it all at one time. You won't drown.
Oh,
trust
I
me.
know.
But that's
I love water.
but that's including fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
And going back to the Bible in Genesis, the first chapter gives us what we need to eat. And when when the flood destroyed all the plant life,
right.
God had to give us the rules on what to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to Genesis. Let's have a 95% plant-based diet. If you did that, you would eliminate all the diseases known to man.
That
Well, I should
is
say not
awesome.
all, most. At
Most
least
of it.
90 to 95%.
Yes, yes. And I love eating better now because
Very good.
I know what led me to the place where I ended up with a stroke. I mean, I know now what it was. So now I do better.
And there were
I make
so
sure I
many
eat a
prayers
certain way.
So many prayers going
Prayers
out
of the
for
righteous
you.
availeth much.
When we heard it, it was almost like a blanket that blanketed the city, the Tri-County area. And we all prayed and prayed and prayed, and we're so glad. When I saw you in church, it was just a wonderful acclamation
So
of
to see you, to see how
yes,
good God is still,
how good
still
God
got
is.
me
yes.
here.
Yes.
And I want to stay here, so I make an effort. I want to eat that dressing and potato salad and all that for Thanksgiving, but I won't.
A little bit like this.
Well, I've learned how to not even do it.
And then macaroni and cheese is your protein. So if you can't have a half plate of macaroni and cheese and the turkey and I know you guys gonna have the chitlins, right? And all this other
I
stuff.
don't.
No.
I don't
Well-
even eat my macaroni and cheese.
Maybe not you.
Definitely no chitlins.
Maybe not you, but somebody in your listening
Somebody out
audience.
here listening gonna
Somebody
get
in your
something. They
listening
already
audience.
on the way to the store.
Well, we have to talk about those chitterlings in just a
Chitterlings.
moment.
I like it,
Because we
chitterlings.
have to go for a quick break, and we'll be right back with Dr. Margaret Betts.
Don't go away.
You're watching UHF TV 33, Detroit Highland Park. The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.
Livingston Family Dentistry knows that good dental care ensures overall wellness, and healthy teeth and gums can perfect your smile. With over 30 years of experience, Dr. Ronald and Dr. Blake Livingston take the time to explain every treatment. Their modern office and friendly staff are committed to making you feel comfortable, informed, and satisfied. Located at 13724 Woodward in Highland Park, call now 313-883-3050. If your teeth are not becoming to you,
then you should be coming to us.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
And when we left, we were
Good
talking.
conversation about.
Yes,
And I love the
chitterlings.
way you said chitterlings.
Chitterlings. I remember the first
Not
my
chitlins.
first encounter with chitterlings was when I was like 4 years old, and I woke up and I said, "What's that smell? What's that smell?" And my mother said, "Those are chitlins," and I never ate them. Just because of the smell.
smell.
But we
Right.
were just talking off camera about some of the things in our community that we feel we have to have on certain
That's the
holidays
tradition.
that are traditions that we need to maybe change or drastically modify. Dr. Betts, could you speak to that?
Well, I don't think we need to change them so much. We need to modify them because it's hard when families come together and friends to select foods that everybody likes.
Yeah,
that's
true.
different.
Right, and then everybody, sometimes they do the potluck. Where
Right.
I bring
Right.
something, you bring
Right.
something, you bring
and
something.
and the potluck is traditional. What needs to happen if you're going to pick out on Thanksgiving, you got to slowly decrease your food intake starting now. If you know you're going to have, if grandma makes banana pudding, pound cake,
Sweet potato
sweet
pie.
potato pie, you probably
All
won't
those
need
traditional
any,
things.
You probably shouldn't have any dessert from now till then.
Okay.
So you lose a few pounds because you're definitely going to gain a few pounds.
Well, speaking of that dessert, don't you think just taking sugar out of your diet for a while,
Oh my, that's a serious
that will
undertaking. That's good.
that
though.
will help you lose weight.
Not only will help you lose weight, it'll give you more energy. Sugar causes inflammation. So if you have back pain, you're not feeling well, arthritis, take not only sugar, white sugar, you're going to take a lot of simple carbohydrates that will metabolize as sugar after they're digested.
Yeah, the
Bread,
macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese, potato chips,
It makes
dressing, all of that makes sugar. It's glucose.
Right, right.
Okay.
And that was something I was very surprised at because you say, well, this is cornbread and all this, but they create the glucose.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the more knowledge we have about food, the
The better off you are.
The problem that we have, the traditions are always so special, but the not the problems. The conditions that we have now is we're all at the level that everybody wants to have a reception during this holiday season.
Right.
And we want to go to them all. And when we go to them all, we want to partake of them all.
Right.
So you might
And I
want
think
to
also, as you doing preventive, I think nowadays a lot of us baby boomers are getting more into preventive, or how can I live a
well,
little longer?
okay, along with those the preventative medicine, what about the health screenings? I mean, well, we talked about
We
a
should have
mammogram.
those.
How often should we have certain screenings, or screenings for what?
Well, certainly as women, we should have a pap smear starting at the time that you're sexually active, or at 21, once a year until you get to be about 60, 65.
And the
then every
mammograms that hurt
every 2
so
years.
bad.
Mammograms, you should get your first screening mammogram.
I'm hoping that one day they get to the point where they know how to do this without
Well, the digital
snatching
mammogram
them up.
is one that you can do now, but I don't know how many insurances will cover
We'll
it.
cover it.
But your first screening mammogram is at 35, and that's assuming that your family history is negative. If you have a family history of breast cancer, you need to bring that to the attention of your physician as soon as you know it.
Well, my daughter and I just happened to be talking yesterday because she said, "Well, Grandma doesn't have breast cancer. My mother will be 94 next month."
Isn't that a
And,
wonderful thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
still
it is.
driving,
My.
still
Yes,
driving. So watch out, world. Anyway, but I said, but my grandmother had it in 1966. She had a breast removed.
Okay.
So what about that old skipping a generation type thing? Is that true?
It may not skip a generation, but the genetic material, we call it recombinate. So if you have the same mother and father, 4 children will have different genes from different generations, and it doesn't skip a generation. We now know that the Middle Passage and all the death of the captive Africans and the death of the enslaved Africans, we've lost 2,000 family members
Yes.
from that alone.
Yes.
So you don't know what they could have had. Now we know they were kings and queens, so we should act like royalty. But all of the conditions and the diseases we don't know. So they may not only skip as a generation, they may go way back.
Oh, okay, I see.
And you would say, sometimes you get a little red-haired, freckled kid in your family, and they'll say, doesn't look like anybody in the family.
Right. Where'd
But
that
it
come?
could
Where'd
have
he
looked
come
like
from?
someone that you
Reaching
had
back.
never met.
Reaching way
My,
back.
my, my. That's a
Right.
long way back.
So, so the mammogram, the Pap smear. Is there another one?
Pap smear also, there's another test, the human papillomavirus, HPV.
Oh yeah.
So the Pap smear should look at that, and in the Pap smear we'll do tests for syphilis, gonorrhea, and then there's a blood test for HIV, AIDS. We really, as women, need to be careful, and a lot of us will say, "Oh, that's for them." But now the highest incidence of HIV/AIDS is
And
in
what
the-
about,
in
is
senior
hepatitis?
citizens.
It's in the over 60 group.
It's in the senior citizens. Yes.
Hepatitis C is a sexually transmitted disease. You
Okay.
can get it from IV drug abuse, but you can get it from having sex with a hepatitis C infected person, and it doesn't occur until 20 or 30 years later as cirrhosis of
Wow.
the liver or liver cancer. So those are some of the tests
Wow,
that now
20
we can,
years
20,
later.
30 years, yes.
Jesus.
Yes, Jesus, help us.
So
Come on,
what,
Reverend.
what are some of the things we can do for life? Because we have about 5 minutes left in this segment. What are some of the things that we can do?
I
Besides,
like that for life.
yes,
For
To live.
To live, yes.
for
That's good.
life. I mean, what habits should we have to prevent certain things, certain maladies?
Eat a plant-based diet. 95% of your 90 to 95% of your food should be plant-based, plant fruits, something from the earth. Rest. Rest your mind. Sleep. Increase your water. Increase exercise.
Now, I probably should say rest again,
Yeah.
right? Hello, somebody. Somebody told me Orthea, because I've been going since Sunday from the tribute they did for me.
So you need to go home
And they
right after
said,
this.
rest, Orthea, but I had this energy. And that's because I'm eating now. I remember the days that if I had ate everything, and I used to eat everything, I'd be like
Slowing
in
down.
slow
yeah.
motion, and I would be sitting up somewhere going to sleep.
Exercise, meditate. Have a religious affiliation that will help you. All of that
That
is a
really
holistic
helps.
approach.
Holistic,
You
yes.
just can't say, I'm a Christian, I don't go to church. No. You got to have it all.
I am the church.
Right. Well, yes, we are.
I am the temple.
We are, but we have
And
to
I
go
make
listen
sure
to the
that
word.
I have time to meditate, to pray in the morning. Somebody said, girl, I'm up at 5
Me
and
too.
6.
Me too.
And why are you up that early? Because I got a prayer group that I pray with on a conference call, pray with women, and at 7:45, and I'm up that early getting some things or listening to what Spirit is saying as to what we should either discuss that day or what should be the topic on that day.
But she says have a spiritual home, right?
And laugh. Laughter
Laughter
is
is such
wonderful.
great medicine.
Hugs are healthy. So I always say hug at least 10 people a day. You'll be surprised on how
I
you
love
feel.
it. I love it. And also, I love that laughing thing because if I'm not listening to that something that's spiritual, I'm looking at something that's funny that'll keep me laughing.
Good.
I love to laugh myself. I mean, well, I was voted class clown of my high school class, but I didn't let it
We're
make my
laughing
way.
with you. We're not laughing.
No.
Oh no, I didn't let it make my way
But
because
see, the
it's so
class clown
good.
became a poet. Can you get another poetry out of that book? 'Cause we have to break and come back.
Just do one prime time about women getting older and getting better. It goes like this. It should bother her that I have the benefit of these over 40 years. I've learned to overcome a lot and have tackled her unseen fears. I'm glad God's allowed me to grow up this special way because knowing what really counts in life has helped me savor each day. At the age of 30, ignorance made me imagine I was grown, but you can't even fathom how many seeds I hadn't sown. I'm a better lover than I was in those days of old.
All right.
Being in my prime has shown me that my body's just as good as gold. Intellectually, I think deeper and see far beyond the trees. I have the power, though I don't use it, to drop nations down to their knees. I was never that very wise, not even a single decade ago, because I had to live and go through changes. So now I could say I know. So all young people should be in awe of the things running through my mind, because everybody ain't able, and I've gotten better with time.
Better
And I
with
like that
time.
with
Oh,
prime
I like that
time.
too.
Yes,
I do.
prime
Yes,
time,
that is
prime
great.
time.
You gotta get that
Living
word.
my
See,
life like it's golden.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And Dr. Betts, would you come back on my morning
Please.
show?
I will.
And you
Yeah.
gotta do
There's a
mine
lot.
as well.
There's a
So-
lot for us to know that we can. It's just so simple.
Yes,
You know,
well,
we gotta get this. We can't continue to have
On.
heart attacks at 21 and 35.
Yes.
And that's what's happening.
yes.
You know, the diabetic rate is just
Getting out of
it's
hand.
overwhelming.
It's staggering, especially
Getting out of
with these
hand.
younger people too. You
Yes.
know, and obesity, childhood obesity, absolutely.
Very
yeah,
serious.
it's
Fast food. The fast foods are just killing us.
Yes.
They
I
are
know.
killing us. I tell patients fast food is slow death. You know, really, you are dying slowly every time you
And don't
you bite
give it to
into
your kids.
But that's what you see.
You think
They market to
Yeah.
the kids.
Well, I
They
think
do.
that, you
They
know, a
do.
lot of parents, single parents especially, single women, they want it fast and quick because they want the kids to stop fussing in the back seat. Let's hurry up and make sure you get something to eat before you go home and do your homework. And my thing when I was coming up with my son, and I was a single parent, we had to eat good. We couldn't eat fast. We had to eat good. And I'm glad that I did that with him because he could have easily fell into that trap.
And another real quick wholesome thing before I break is, for as much as you can, sit down as a family.
Hello.
If it's two of you, talk to
Yes.
each other.
Yes.
And that's what I was going to say, because the statistics show and studies show that those people who sit down and eat together, they have less truancy, less bad behavior, et cetera, because you impart the ideas of and your expectations to your children when you talk about everyday things
Right.
sitting at the table. So it's really important.
And
that
I
we do
think
that.
I always say that the family is the first church. If you can't get this
Family is the
together, you
first
can't go to
church.
church and have church.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, we'll be
This
back
has been enjoyable.
We're coming back. This
in
is
just
wonderful.
a moment. We will be back and talk about that spirit.
Yes.
Talk about that spiritual
Love you. Thank you
side.
so much for
you.
coming
Dr.
on.
Betts, I will see you on my show.
absolutely, my dear.
I'll make
Let's see, I got two of my
arrangements.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Good afternoon again. This is Brenda,
This is Orthea Barnes.
and we have our wellness
We make a good
special,
team,
and
Brenda.
we do. We're gonna. I would like Dr. Kafera to call back in because I inadvertently kind of cut her off, but she'll call back in because
Please
we
do.
definitely want to talk to her. Please call back in, Dr. Kafera. And this segment, we're going to deal a little with the spirit and all of
Yes,
that.
yes.
And I'm going to start with a piece that one day I got mad at my mom and I said, oh my God. And then I realized, let me just put her on hold just
Okay,
a second.
let's try this again and not lose
Listen.
it.
Okay. Should I push the hold button?
This is Dr.
You gotta put
Kafera.
hold first. Push hold first. And then
Okay, I have her on hold. I have her on hold.
Good.
And we'll be back. We'll be with you in just a moment. Oh my goodness.
No, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. We're a
Anyway,
team.
yes,
We're a
we
team.
are. And one day I said, gosh, I have so much to be thankful for. Why would I get mad at my mom?
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote this poem, and we're going to deal a little bit with the spirit and how we have to thank God and so much. And this one is called, Dear God, I'm Sorry. Dear God, I'm sorry for not thanking you enough. At the slightest adversity, I'd lose faith and storm off in a huff. Then, like a shameful hypocrite, I'd start again praising your name, but reality invaded
wow.
my space and showed me I was just playing a game. Dearest Lord, I beg your pardon for not thanking you enough. You're the reason that I'm here. You're the reason that I'm tough. I'm not always true to myself, and I make frivolous promises too, but you've forgiven me so many times when I break many promises to you. Precious Lord, I'm so very sorry for forgetting you have my back. You're the reason that I talk, the lovely limp in my walk, the muse in my pen, and the good times
loving
that
it.
I spend.
Yes.
Oh God, please forgive me for ignoring the pain in the world. I didn't want to understand and would lend only so much of my hand. Oh God, I'm so very sorry for any pain that I unconsciously caused. I must have succumbed to temptation and ended up breaking your laws. Oh God, please absolve me and wash away all the sins I've acquired. And on the Lord's day, I will honor you and not use the excuse that I'm tired. Now, there's no use in whining and wailing and crying about my bad luck in this journey called life. You've shown me your glory and given me no need to worry. I thank you for the good and bad and the incredible life that I've had, because the wonders you've bestowed are second to none, and all I can say is let your will be done.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, you know you can get this book with all these poems. And how do we get that book, Brenda?
On Amazon.com, and then on Sunday I'll be at Silver Fox Furs in the atrium. There's a trunk show and a book signing. So that's at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Silver Fox Furs, Mr.
Push
Ricky
that,
Welch.
hold on. Also, this Sunday, I am going to be ministering at Unity Temple.
Oh, wow.
Would love for you guys to come out and be with us Sunday morning.
What time?
10 o'clock is when we start services. I'm going to preach on To God Be the Glory, because I am the glory of God.
Absolutely.
And in saying that, and with your poem, my concern in my prayers here for the last week has been about the heart of the woman. And our heart, and so many women having heart attacks,
Yes.
having heart problems. And a lot of it stems from, as Dr. Beth said earlier, and as she read, we don't take time for our spiritual life, to gather ourselves together spiritually, to spend some time with God.
Right.
Because God and I are one. Not God and I are this way, we're one. So I'd like to bring in a young lady that has been my spiritual advisor through food, through holistic living, through knowing how to eat, what to eat, and I just love her for it. But more, I love her because of her spirit and her knowing spiritual living.
Hello.
Dr. Kafera?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Sorry about cutting you off.
Oh, not a problem.
Have you been listening to us all the
yes,
time?
I have. I've been watching, and this has been an awesome show. So thank you so much for
And thank you. And I'm
allowing
not
me
going to
this
tell you,
opportunity.
I'm not going to have you tell you what I think you should even say. I'm just going to let you open the floor and let her just speak in the spirit.
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, what I want to speak about is matters of the heart. And because we've got the holidays and family, I want to address the heart and the importance of the heart. The heart is the chief organ of physical life, and it is also the chief organ of emotional and the spiritual life. It is our reasoning faculty, and it is our will and our wellspring. There will be matters of the heart that come up during the holidays and with our family members. There will be matters of the heart around those who we have lost and who are no longer with us. We use references in song and conversation to describe how we feel and what we are experiencing. We make statements like, guard your heart, don't lose your heart, have a heart, take heart, give me your heart, I have a grateful heart, broken heart. It's heartfelt, heartwarming, and heart-to-heart. Those are just a few of the terms that we use of endearment around the heart. And there's a lot of heart disease, and it's not just what we're eating or what we're drinking, but our emotions. And what we want to do or focus on is coming from the heart space. And the heart is representative of love. Mm-hmm. And when we love, then our heart is healthy. It's when we don't love and we're not in peace and we're not in harmony that we have heart dis-ease. And that's the way that I break that word down, not disease, but dis-ease. When we don't find compassion and love and forgiveness for our friends or family or neighbors and the people that we work with, our co-workers, when we find the space of love, which is the most powerful emotion, it is power in love, and this is what I say, there's only two emotions in the universe. One is love and one is fear. And when we are in a fear space, it puts us in a state of dis-ease. So what I wanted to say also around this holiday that's coming up, Thanksgiving, and being around our family, our friends, relatives, and coworkers, that if we can realize that we are all connected and that separation causes disease, to identify with another person as undeserving and is to deny oneself love and compassion. We've got to find love and compassion not only for others but for ourselves. So what I say is that forgiveness is the healing balm for the heart and for circumstances and our past experiences. So if we can find the love for ourselves, because we can't love another unless we love ourselves right where we are, not when we get a man or leave the one that we're with or get the coat or the car or the finances or the job. When we love ourselves intrinsically right where we are, then we can radiate that love to everyone else. And this holiday, I say it's Thanksgiving, but even deeper than that, it's thanks for giving and thanks
I like that.
for giving.
I
And
love that.
so
I love what
would
you said.
like
Thank you.
for
Amen to
people
what you
to
said.
Take on this assignment, because faith without works is dead. If we can just take on the love vibration, and first thing in the morning before my feet hit the floor, I'm in an attitude of gratitude.
Absolutely.
So before you get out of bed, just lay there in silence and stillness and give thanks for everything. The bed, the sheets, the pillow, the lights, the heat, whatever you
Everything.
have available, have an attitude of gratitude.
You
And
know
then
what?
think on your day. The traffic that you may have to get into, just send love. Send love to your home, to your environment, to your car, to your journey, to the people that you're around, and watch the effects of love radiating out, and it will return to you, because you're going to see your reflection wherever you go. So the heart is very important, taking care of your heart physically, because I am a holistic practitioner, and we don't want to clog up our hearts and veins and arteries with
all kinds of stuff.
a lot of substances that
Toxins.
cause the suppression. And when people are in pain due to not eating properly or thinking properly, and Reverend Orthea says thinking, when you eliminate those things, then your heart opens up and you're able to give love as well as receive love. So that's what I wanted to
Thank
share
you.
with your audience today.
Thank you so much.
And they're playing our theme music.
And we got to
Okay.
go.
And I'd like to
Thank
thank
you.
Dr.
I enjoyed being with
Margaret
you.
Betts We got to thank our guest, Dr. Sister.
Dr. Kafera.
Yes.
Thank you to Gail Perry Mason and Kathleen Collin.
And to Nisette Gray.
It has been a
And
wonderful
Dr.
time
Betts.
here.
Yes.
I love you, girl.
I love you too.
And
This
I want to
was-
do this again.
We have to do this again. We have to do this again.
But you know what I see from this too, though? I see a weekend conference or a 2-day conference with this
Oh, yes.
that we could do.
We can make it bigger and
Make
better.
it really big, really
Right.
nice. So let's think about that, okay?
Okay, we will.
I love you, and I love
love
you
you.
out there. Thanks for being with us today. Make sure you see Brenda Perryman. She's coming on,
Friday morning.
and I'll
I-
be on Monday morning, so make sure you tune us in Monday afternoon.
And
I'm
it'll
sorry.
Be Ask the Dentist.
All righty. We love you.
Okay.
God bless. Thank you, Henry, and thank you, RJ.